Hello, this is Jonathan Rizal and hari ini we akan continue onwards to 2.7 of your sejarah perkembangan nasionalisme di negara kita. So we already talked about in 2.6 and 2.7 dia berkait rapat, they're very related because we had jelaskan in your 2.6 the faktor-faktor kemunculan kebangkitan nasionalisme. We had six. I'm going to put them over here. We have peranan agama, then you punya media cetak, your penulisan kreatif, then the other three that we talked about, you have your sistem pendidikan, then your golongan intelektual, and akhir sekali pengaruh luar dan serantau. So we're gonna see all these aspects again and how they expanded throughout the time. So let's go. First, we akan bincang perkembangan nasionalisme boleh divided kepada 3 perjuangan. Number 1, perjuangan golongan intelektual, perjuangan melalui penulisan, perjuangan melalui persatuan. Let's start from the top. Okay, perjuangan melalui perjuangan golongan intelektual. Muka surat 36 in your textbook. So, first and foremost, we tell you that for perjuangan golongan intelektual, dia boleh divide kepada different kinds of education because intellectual is a very broad term. It's people who have received education. So, we have here with your golongan intelektual yang berpendidikan agama, then golongan berpendidikan English, golongan berpendidikan Melayu. So let's start here from agama first. You need to know the people there yang sebagai kaum muda. Kaum muda means like the 年轻一代, the youngins, the young people. Okay. Tokoh berpendidikan agama berjaya membangkitkan kesetaraan melalui beberapa cara seperti yang berikut. Peranan tokoh yang digelar sebagai kaum muda, menyalurkan idea melalui gerakan Islah. Coming back, I'm going to use a different color for this, yellow. Menyalurkan idea, this is your first one. Salur, menyalurkan idea melalui gerakan Islah. Then they tell you, dan agama Islam, because you see gerakan Islah is all about agama Islam, so you can then connect how agama Islam involved. Okay. Agama Islam sebagai asas kemajuan dunia dan akhirat. That means that Islam is the base of our progress and for the future as well. So then they can tell you about the tokoh. I'm going to tokoh for your kaum muda. Got some people here. This is your tokoh. They all wear hats. Okay, let's tell you names now. Sheikh Muhammad Tahir Jalaluddin, Sheikh Syed Al-Hadi, Habib Abbas Muhammad Taha, dan these 3 people, am I there? Draw 3, yes. Tak tahu why his head smaller. Okay, these 3 men, you can choose like 1 or 2 to remember. Then mereka cenderung kepada gerakan Islam semasa menuntut di Timur Tengah. They were very 偏向于倾向, they were very swayed towards gerakan Islah when the thing was happening in where? Your Timur Tengah. So Timur, I write the Chinese word Zong for Tengah. Okay, then we find over here, kaum muda, what else, right? It's just this. Then they also had the penubuhan madrasah. Remember this word? This is from your sistem pendidikan from 2.6. So penubuhan madrasah menyebarkan fahaman Islam. Coming back to this gerakan Islah, whatever. Kesedaran pentingnya, awareness is very important, dan pendidikan menyebabkan banyak madrasah ditubuh. So we can say like times 100. Wow, banyak. Then contohnya, okay, this one contoh I memorized only one, madrasah Al-Atas. But there are more Al-Atas kat mana? Kat Johor Bahru, Johor. Then they also have madrasah Al-Qaryah, Al-Islamiyah, all the way at Pokok Sena at Kedah. Dan akhir sekali Mahat Al-Ihya Al-Sharif at Gunung Semanggu, Perak. Okay, then we go to our final part, which is again connected to your Salur idea, which is where we say idea disalurkan melalui akhbar dan majalah. Okay, akhbar dan majalah, you have to remember this. I'm going to draw this symbol. The akhbar dan majalah selalu connected. Okay, we will see this nanti over here. See this over here. akhbar dan majalah. So hold in there. So contohnya akhbar, okay, this one we already jelaskan for 1.6. For me, I remember Al-Imam. Then there's also Al-Ikhwah, Neraca dan Tunas Melayu. So in my opinion, Al-Imam dan Neraca is more important. Why? Let me show you very quickly. Because they give you the penjelasan for Al-Imam and Neraca. So okay, first they tell you Al-Imam berkembang di NNS. NNS meaning your negeri-negeri Selat dan alam Melayu. Mengandungi idea ulama menyeru umat Islam agar kembali kepada ajaran Islam yang sebenar dengan berpandukan Al-Quran dan hadis. This is basically the jelasan for your gerakan Islah, okay? To go back to your original teachings, memuatkan perselisihan pendapat antara kaum muda dengan kaum tua. Kaum tua, later we'll talk about them. So that means this Al-Imam, let me use a different color, Al-Imam memuatkan, that means it recorded the perselisihan pendapat, the different kinds of pendapat between the opinions of the kaum muda and the kaum tua. Okay, it's quite besar actually. I'm going to this smaller. Give me a second. Uppercase, man. Hello, not so big. 我的妈呀. Okay, 不要理他. You know what? 我不爽你. There you go. Okay, then you have your neraca. Menyuarakan rasa tidak puas hati terhadap penjajah British. This one? Towards who? British. I very 不爽, tidak puas hati. Then, mengkritik sikap dan mentaliti masyarakat masa itu perlu dibangunkan melalui pendidikan dan tafsiran Islam yang lebih progresif. You're criticizing the mentalities and the way people thought, the society thought that the way society thought and believed that we had to build our country, build our people better through pendidikan and tafsiran Islam yang lebih progresif. That is more progressive or that self-explanatory. So that is here. Then there's one more still relating to idea. Going to circle you and pull you somewhere out here. Shoo. Then they tell you, okay, idea kaum muda memberikan kesan positif kepada masyarakat. Pelajar membawa kemajuan dan pemodenan serta pentafsiran terhadap Islam. So all of the session brought in modernization, brought in progression towards the Islam and how they should read Islam, how they should understand it, not being influenced by the outsiders. So then they tell you other parts. So they say, wanita diberikan peluang belajar di madrasah. That is a point I would personally remember. This is wanita diberikan peluang untuk belajar di madrasah. Here's my madrasah. Here lah madrasah. Then they say, menyatukan rumpun Melayu. That means to unite rumpun Melayu of the Malay people, memajukan Islam melalui pentafsiran baharu seperti dibawa oleh reformis Mesir. Again, reformis Mesir coming back to gerakan Islam to change the way they perceived agama Islam. So that is for your kaum muda, right? That is for your this is the intellectual berpendidikan agama influenced by the gerakan Islam. Now we talk about the English, your MCKK. Full name, Maktab Melayu Kuala Kangsar ditubuhkan pada tahun 1905 dan tujuannya untuk melahirkan intellectual. Let me just lahirkan intellectual. These are your intellectuals with a molecule. Okay, intellectuals dan berperanan dalam perkembangan nasionalisme. See, your main topic here. Then they say, okay, here, tujuannya melahirkan intellectual. What? I'm reading the same thing. Tujuan asal, the original goal was to melatih anak bangsawan bagi diserapkan dalam pentadbiran kerajaan. So before it started to be about perkembangan nasionalisme, this is a later effect. Sebenarnya, they wanted the MCKK to melahirkan anak bangsa, so little kids. Little kids, anak bangsawan bagi diserapkan, to be taken in, to rongru dalam pentadbiran the government system of your kerajaan. Dan lepasan MCKK, that means your graduates of MCKK, Maktab Melayu Kuala Kangsar, menggunakan kedudukan mereka untuk buat apa? Menyuarakan, I just put the word suara, menyuarakan hak mendapat pendidikan. Then they also say, contoh lepasan, who were the people who brave enough to menyuarakan hak mendapat pendidikan? Have some tokoh, you have met these people actually in your form 3 chapter 8, chapter 9. So first person, Raja Chulan Raja Abdullah. This one definitely have seen before. Then you have your Muhammad Mat, Muhammad Yunus Abdullah, then Raja Uda Raja Muhammad. Personally, I remember Raja Chulan Raja Abdullah. Just write RCRA. That's a very interesting way to remember his name. And finally MEA, Muhammad Yunus Abdullah. If I'm not mistaken, you've already seen this name in your 2.6 over at the part where they talk about yes, you check your 2.6 kemunculan golongan intellectual, they do mention his name. So there you go, second repeating of his name. Then what else are they talking about? Okay, they have the kings, you can remember lo. Dan lepasan MCKK, your Maktab Melayu Kuala Kangsar bertugas sebagai pegawai kerajaan menuntut British. So they did become part of the government system and they menuntut British. They could they could give out request things from the British people because they were part of the government system. Merupakan pegawai kerajaan, memperbaikan taraf hidup orang Melayu to help make the lives of orang Melayu a lot better. Membuka lebih banyak peluang pekerjaan kepada orang Melayu dalam jabatan kerajaan. That means more people get to work in your government system. This is my work. Lebih membuka lebih banyak peluang pekerjaan. Dan cara menuntut, how did they request this? Being in the government system. Well, mereka berbaik-baik dengan British. That means they were on good terms with the British. Let me put this somewhere. How did they do this? Oh, I got it. Ding, ding, ding. How did they do this? Berbaik-baik. Bergood-good. Berbaik-baik dengan British dan guna akhbar. Okay, so again, it goes back to your akhbar. Akhbar is a very big thing, right? So then let's continue. Ding, ding, ding. Your next part. Intellectual berpendidikan Melayu. So this is for agama, this is for the English, so they could, teach they could request things from the English. Sekarang kita pergi ke SITC, right? Maktab Perguruan Sultan Idris, or we say in English, why I say SITC is because in English it is Sultan Idris Teaching Institution, teaching constitution. But for BM, it is Maktab Perguruan Sultan Idris. And here they talk about berjaya melahirkan semangat kesedaran bangsa melalui beberapa usaha berikut. They have 5 usaha. Number 1, peranan guru. It's in the name, right? This T is for perguruan. So, peranan guru. Okay, dia jelaskan. Meniupkan kesedaran kepada pelajar. Meniupkan means to blow the awareness into the students, which is to let them understand. And melahir ramai penulis dan nasionalis. So with the guru, mereka meniup kesedaran. And then they have a lot of writers on their hands. Dan contohnya O.T. Dusek, Abdul Hadi Hasan, Abdul Hadi Abdul Manan, dan finally, dan Aminur Rashid. Oh my god, Harun Aminur Rashid. So, the second point, this is your guru, right? That's a guru like that lah, okay. The next point, we have your wujud pejabat karang mengarang. Wujud pejabat, an office for editing works, dan ketua penterjemahannya Zaba. Who was the person in charge of all this? Your Zaba, remember him? We've also learned about him before in the past. Now he's coming back. So pejabat karang mengarang. Then your ketua here is Zaba, ketua penterjemahnya. Now berjaya menghasilkan buku berkualiti. Buku Very good, berkualiti dan menjadi pemangkin. Pemangkin is the it's almost like an enzyme, is like speeding up, the catalyst, mengasah bakat belajar, to sharpen the skills, the brain, the brain cell of the pelajar dalam membangkitkan semangat kebangsaan. Then tokoh nasionalis ada Buyung Adil dan Abdul Hadi Hassan. This name, let me put it here somewhere. Abdul Hadi Hassan, we've already mentioned him here once. For this point, pejabat, then we also mentioned him here, so you can remember, like, quite important this guy, if we were to memorize anyone. Then we go on to our next point, which was kemasukan bahan bacaan. Kemasukan bahan bacaan dari mana? Timur Tengah. Okay, what is it? That's not Timur. Timur Tengah. Okay, what is in Timur Tengah? Remember your gerakan Islam and everything, and they were helping with the pembaharuan, the kemajuan. No, not only here lah, bahan bacaan dari Timur Tengah dan Indonesia. Okay, so they say menjadikan SITC sebagai taman ilmu. Hear that? Taman ilmu. Dan yang dapat mendedahkan pembaharuan dari negara luar. Next point, your curriculum SITC. Menitik curriculum curriculum of your SITC. Menitik beratkan, emphasize on pelajaran sejarah. Mata pelajaran sejarah. Okay. Dan pendedahan keagungan Empire Melayu di alam Melayu, membangkitkan kesedaran. Okay, it's a lot of repeat of the same thing. Menitikkan berat mata pelajaran sejarah, emphasize on sejarah, on history, and expose them to like the glorious Malay empires during the Malayan archipelago age, dan membangkitkan kesedaran. Dan mata pelajaran anyaman dan kesihatan serta sukan juga penting. So not only sejarah, you have your anyaman, which is your 编字, which is a kind of handcraft. Then kesihatan serta sukan. So kesihatan and your sukan. Then to our final point, not as important, but you have to jelas anyways, which is your Pertubuhan Ikatan Pemuda Pelajar dan Ikatan Semenanjung Borneo melahirkan Persatuan Radikal. So keyword here, radikal, iaitu Kesatuan Melayu Muda. This one, KMM. You will see them again nanti. You will see them over here. Zoom. Maybe I don't put my arrow like that. You will see them over here. Perjuangan melalui persatuan. So remember this, KMM, your Kesatuan Melayu Muda. My funny way to remember this, because there's also KMM can also be Kesultanan Melayu Melaka. KMM here is for Muda, right? Kesatuan Manly Man. That's how you can think of it. So we dah jelaskan all about your perjuangan golongan intellectual, your agama, your English, and your Malay. So for quick recap, agama is for the pembaharuan, kemajuan because of the gerakan Islam. Then over here for English, it's about being a government worker, then membaik taraf hidup and membuka peluang pekerjaan yang luas. How? Berbaik-baik dengan British, be good friends with them. Then for your Malay one, we just said it's about a lot of gurus, then they're all very smart. Then they have your pejabat karang mengarang, and then what happened? They had a lot of books there. Taman Ilmu is what they call the SITC. Dan seterusnya, they had the co-curriculum with sejarah, anyaman, kesihatan, and sukan, really important. And then finally, your KMM. So let me just get rid of this. Okay, now we're going on to our next point, which is your perjuangan melalui penulisan. Remember akhbar, remember how important akhbar is? Well, we're going to get to know why it's so important. So come with me to the next page only, I think. Yes, page muka surat 38, 39. Okay, over here. Peranan. What is your peranan for akhbar dan majalah, right? We divide this to two things. Akhbar, majalah, and your karya kreatif. Let's start here for akhbar dan majalah. So, over here we say, peranannya untuk mengetengahkan isu hak dan masa depan bangsa. Mengetengahkan means to emphasize on your issues about your rights and the future of the bangsa, the people. Then polemik kaum muda dan kaum tua. Polemik is the discussion, Cenlun for your kaum muda and your kaum tua. Remember, we emphasize these two groups just now somewhere here. So, Al Iman, you have the records, right? Then we're talking about how this is where they discuss the young ones and the old people. So for your akhbar, we divide into three parts: akhbar Melayu, Cina, India. Melayu has the most content, so let's start from Melayu first. Akhbar Melayu, boom. So first one starts with your syarikat. Let me do here. Okay, syarikat. I'll draw this. Syarikat. Okay, syarikat Jelutong Press. Okay. Di Pulau Pinang memajukan kegiatan penerbitan akhbar, help to memajukan让这个东西变得很发达 about your akhbar punya penerbitan. Dan intelektual Melayu dan Inggeris terlibat dalam perkembangan persurat kabaran Melayu. That's why I drew the two arrows here, right? Both your English and your Melayu paid very big impact, terlibat dalam perkembangan persurat. Okay, maybe I draw your surat khabar for you. Persurat, this is your surat kabaran Melayu. Okay, pada awal abad ke-20. Then contohnya, hey, Muhammad Yunus Abdullah. Oh, it's him again. So let me put him somewhere here. Muhammad Yunus Abdullah, please know how to spell his name, by the way. Muhammad Yunus Abdullah menerajui utusan Melayu, lembaga Melayu, dan juga ada Warta Melaya, Warta Jenaka, Fajar Sarawak, Majlis dan Majalah Guru. So what to remember? You need to know at least like 1 or 2, 3. So how will I memorize this? Okay, I will memorize utusan Melayu. Then you have your lembaga Melayu. Then you have your Warta Malaya and your Majlis. Okay, why these in particular? Because they all end with an M. And your Muhammad Yunus Abdullah also has an M in his name. So lots of M's. Then you have your different editors and writers. Pengarang lain, you have your Muhammad Yusuf Ahmad, yang we call as Tok Kenali, Muhammad Yusuf Abdul Hamid, Datuk Un Jafar dan Abdul Rahim Kajai, yang bersuara tentang pendidikan dan politik tanah air. Okay, Datuk Un Jafar. You can also remember this man. Where do I put him? Here lah. Datuk Un Jafar. Why? Because we've mentioned him in 2.1. Your pendapat tokoh. He was one of the tokoh. He thought that nasionalisme, you have to be tegap dan kuat, remember? So that is that. Then we go to their akhbar, right? We also have still in under akhbar Melayu yang berbahasa Inggeris. Wait, sorry, same point lah. Let me put this here. Yang berbahasa English, the Malay Mail and the Malay Tribune, memuat perkembangan sosial, politik dan ekonomi. Okay, let's just remember Malay Mail and your Malay Tribune. Tribune, sure, same thing. Then, wait, not Malay, the Malaya Tribune. Okay, then we go over, still in the Melayu category, but we're talking about in Sarawak. Okay, no mention of Sabah. Sorry, man. Wait, we do have mention of Sabah. Let's go. Wait, then I have 3 sections. Ta-da. Okay, hold on. 我的妈呀！以为是可以被这样大个吗？的天上的星星像地上的人。Okay. Sarawak. Okay, let's go. Okay, akhbar Sarawak. Your Fajar Sarawak, we already mentioned this last time. Coming back to it again. 2.6, dah ada 2.6. Okay, Fajar Sarawak, penulisnya Muhammad Rakawi Yusof, Muhammad Awi Anang, Muhammad Daud Abdul Mohgandi, Gani serta Habji Abdul Rahman Kasim. Okay, surahnya Fajar telah tersingsing, bangunlah wahai bangsaku. Okay, we talk about Fajar meaning dawn, right? So here dia punya seruan, the dawn has already come up, dah tersingsing, 已经升起. So it's time to wake up. 我的民族, my people, it's time to wake up. Mengesah masyarakat bangkit menuju kemajuan. Your keyword here, kemajuan, bangkit for kemajuan. Okay, then we also say in Sabah really just one sentence. Di Sabah, kebanyakan isu pendidikan, tanah bumi putera dan kewangan petani disuarakan oleh ketua anak negeri. This one you've already learned in Form 3 about who they are, but they're kind of like your kampung leaders lah in a sense. Dalam mesyuarat mereka dan melalui aktiviti persatuan sosial budaya. That's it. For Melayu at least. Now we're gonna go to the next part. So obviously you can see from here the Melayu part, it is your syarikat. Here Jelutong Press is a lot more important compared to the others. So come with me, we talk about the Cina people for a second. Akhbar Cina. Okay, editor merangsang pemikiran masyarakat Huaqiang, Haiwai Huaren, kaum Cina seberang laut dan tujuannya untuk number 1, mengekalkan identiti. Number 2, untuk memperjuangkan nasib wanita. Okay. Feminism. Nasib wanita. Maybe I don't write the word. Let me draw the symbol. Ting. Wanita. Then your third one, menyemai perasaan cinta akan negara China. Whoa, we love Zhongguo. I love China. Because the China people at this age, they were still very much loyal to their country. They didn't consider themselves Malaysian people. They were or Malayan people. They were like, no, I'm just working here. So their apa is still like going back to 母国，我们的国家中国。Okay, contohnya Laut Paut dan Modern Daily News. This one I will put it here lah. Okay, Laut. Is it Laut? Lat Pau. What am I doing? Lat Pau. And your Modern Daily News. Okay, penulisan cenderung ke arah negara asal mereka. Negara asal, that's your keyword here. Your original country, which is China. Okay, then your second one. Your Nanyang Sung Hui Pao. Nanyang Sung Hui Pao dan Chong Yi Pao yang memuatkan soal pemerintahan monarki serta pergolakan politik di China. Okay, this one I think just remember the name says about it. So, oh my god, I think I'll write the abbreviation. So NTHP, Nanyang Sung Hui Pao, and CSYP yang memuat soal pemerintahan monarki. That means they were recording all about the changes in monarchy and the politics in their negara asal, which is your China. Okay, then your third one, pada tahun 1929 orientasi penulisan lebih bersifat anti-imperialisme, aka anti-penjajahan. Let me write that. Anti-imperialisme. Okay, dah lah. Anti-imperialisme. Dan pada tahun 1930-an, akhbar yang Siampang di Pulau Pinang memperjuangkan soal kesatuan sekerja dan keadilan sosioekonomi bagi masyarakat kelas bawahan. Memperjuangkan was fighting for the rights of the people working and the people of the social economy as well, for the masyarakat kelas bawahan, for the people at the lower class. So let me write that. Nanyang. That's the name. So this one is not so much to your China anymore. They're talking about genuine things happen here. So this is your. I'll put the keyword here. Soal kesatuan sekerja. Okay. Then that is for China. Quite short also compared to Melayu. Then India lebih short, man. Let's go. For India, okay, I'm going to use blue as well. For India, okay, masyarakat India cenderung menerbitkan akhbar walaupun beroperasi dalam tempoh singkat. In a very short time, if they still had their own like newspapers and stuff. So contohnya, Tamil, okay, that's it. I'm writing abbreviations. Tamil Nesan dan Tamil Murasu. Kandungannya memperjuangkan kepentingan politik dan sosial masyarakat India di negara ini. Compared to China, who was still like, "Whoa, 我爱中国, I love China." For the Indians, they were already focusing about things happening here di negara ini. Okay, kepentingan politik dan sosial masyarakat India dan Tamil Nesan awalnya diterbitkan oleh peniaga India untuk melaporkan perkembangan di India dan kepentingan sosiopolitik masyarakatnya. Okay, next, this one is published in English. Wow, it's called the Indian. I like the Indian and the Indian Pioneer. Indian Pioneer memuat pemikiran dan kepentingan perpaduan to is really to not really record to emphasize to focus on the pemikiran, the ideas, the philosophies dan kepentingan importance of unity for the masyarakat kelas menengah, for the middle class of the India people in the tanah Melayu, di negara ini. That is ini. Okay, that's your emphasis here. Negara ini, negara ini. That's it for your majalah. Well, concerning about the three races, which one is the most important? Melayu law, no brainer. Okay, but don't completely miss out on China and India as well. Now let's come to your karya kreatif. Okay, karya kreatif sorted by novel, cerpen, puisi. Okay, novel, they give you the same contours that they give you last time. So, berjaya meniupkan nasionalisme dalam kalangan penduduk. Karya bertemakan, tema means the theme, semangat, cinta akan negara dan perjuangan membelah nasib bangsa. Membelah, we said in chapter 1 I think, which is to protect the nasib, the lives of your bangsa. Contohnya novel Mari Kita Berjuang oleh Abdullah Siddiq. That's it. Mengajak masyarakat memerdekakan diri, to set yourself free dari aspek ekonomi. Next, your puisi. Okay, bertemakan masih cinta akan negara. Contohnya Angan-Angan dengan Gurindam. Gurindam is a type of instrument oleh Omar Mustafa dan Sedalah oleh Mahmud Ahmadi. Sedalah, personally, I think quite nice to remember lah. Sedalah, very short, very quick. Okay, then Semenanjung oleh Harun Aminur Rashid. Okay, Harun Aminur Rashid, you've already seen this name previously over here, so that's where you get the author's name from. Okay, your poet's name, Sedalah. Then you can continue on Serunai Pujangga oleh Abdul Samad Ahmad. Okay, then we go to your cerpen, bertemakan semangat berjuang, nasib bangsa dan cinta akan tanah air. It's not different, not negara but tanah air. Okay, then contohnya Rumah Besar Tiang Sebatang oleh Ishak Haji Muhammad. Cerita Awang Putat. Okay, this one you can remember. Why? We already learned this previously. Just space here. Wait, my Awang put here. Cerita Awang Putat you dah learn in 2.6. Then di sini kita bukannya orang dagang. I will also choose to remember that one because it's a very direct name. Di sini bukannya orang dagang. We are not people. We are not trading people. We are not objects to be traded for. Tada! So that is for your perjuangan melalui penulisan. Okay, aspects was akhbar majalah for Melayu, Cina, India with your printing press lah. Or the Utusan Melayu, Malaya Tribune. Okay, then for Sarawak, then for Sabah. I guess I didn't write Sabah here. That's quite funny of me. Hold on. Sabah. Okay. Then we talk about for the China, they were very much focusing on their negara asal. Until the end, they were like, hey, what about us living here? Then for India, they were already emphasizing for the people living here. Then karya kreatif, semangat berjuang lah, okay, everything. Now we're going to the final one, perjuangan melalui persatuan. Persatuan means like you form like a group, and so I need a second to drink water. Hold up. This is your next page, muka surah 40 dan 41. Okay, no, it's still more water. Let's go. Okay, perjuangan melalui persatuan. Again, we're divided by the races, masyarakat Melayu, masyarakat Cina dan masyarakat India. Of course, if we want to talk which one's more important, it's a no-brainer. So let's come. Masyarakat Melayu, we have 3, KMS, PLASPAM dan KMM. This is what we talked about over here. Wait, where's your KMM? Yeah, this KMM here, coming over here. This is the full name. This one for Kesatuan Melayu Singapura. Why is this logo for it? Because you know the short term like kill myself KMS. I thought that was funny. Sorry. Okay, then we have PASPAM, which is for your Sahabat Pena. Your Persaudaraan Sahabat Pena means your pen pals. Then for Kesatuan Melayu Muda, your manly man here. Okay, let's go. Let's start from KMS first. Kesatuan Melayu Singapura yang persatuan awalnya ditubuhkan pada tahun 1926 oleh siapa? Muhammad. This name again, Muhammad Yunis Abdullah. You're like, wait a minute. This guy was over here, then he was over here. This guy is everywhere, indeed. So please remember him, Muhammad Yunus Abdullah. Okay, pertujuannya for this KMS menggalakkan ahli bergerak aktif. Wait, let me draw his symbol face. Okay, then he had 3 things he wanted to yap about. Number 1, aktif dalam pentadbiran, dan number 2, memperjuangkan kepentingan orang Melayu. Memperjuangkan, sorry, juang lah. So tired to write so many words. Memperjuangkan kepentingan orang Melayu dalam politik dan pendidikan, dan akhir sekali mementingkan pelajaran teknik dan pengajian tinggi. I mean, it's not study randomly. He was emphasizing the importance of pelajaran teknik. Okay, don't just study randomly. Have a technique when you do it. Dan pengajian tinggi. So pengajian tinggi is like, you know, your college, your madrasah, all that things. Okay, amazing. Pengajian tinggi. Then we say, okay, kejayaan KMS. So this is what their punya tujuan was, the leader. Then what did they manage to achieve? Okay, what could they achieve? Number 1, mendorong penubuhan persatuan negeri lain seperti Persatuan Melayu Pahang. That means through the formation of KMS, they managed to mendorong the formation of more persatuans in different states, because Singapura was a state in Tanah Melayu, seperti Persatuan Melayu Pahang dan Persatuan Melayu Selangor, Persatuan Melayu Negeri Sembilan. Honestly, not very creative names. PMP for Pahang, PMS for Selangor, then PMNS for PM Negeri Sembilan. Not very creative, but easy for you to remember. Then what else? Mereka bekerja sama dengan British. That is your keyword. Hello. Bekerja sama with your British, the colonizer. Apa? Dan meminta supaya lebih banyak peluang diberikan kepada orang Melayu dalam pentadbiran. This is very, very similar to your, where was this? Your perjuangan golongan intellectual over here. Quite similar, right? Yeah, there's a connection there. But let's continue. Then from here, we move on to our next group. PASPAM, your Sahabat Pena. Okay, what did your Sahabat Pena do? Let me get an eraser real quick. Okay, Sahabat Pena. First and foremost, okay, tujuannya, why did we have this group in the first place? PASPAM, bagi menggalakkan ahlinya untuk bersatu, berwan, dan bertukar-tukar pendapat, to exchange opinions, bertukar pendapat. They were like, we listen and we write and we read and we don't judge. So, PASPAMnya bermula di Pulau Pinang pada tahun 1934, dan for 1934 and 1939 berkembang dan perhimpunan tahunan diadakan seluruh Tanah Melayu. That means they had their punya meetings, their yearly meetings happened all around Tanah Melayu, dan melalui kongres ataupun you can call it persidangan. That means it's a group that we have discussions about menyatukan, remember this word, bersatu, menyatukan pergerakan orang Melayu, dan mereka dan PASPAM itu berjaya menghimpunkan wakil Persatuan Melayu dari Brunei, Labuan dan Sarawak untuk mengutarakan. Is that so? Doing? Give me a second to check. Yes, mengutarakan isu kebangsaan. Isu kebangsaan meaning isu nasionalisme. Okay, sorry. So that means that it happened over at Penang, and throughout the 4-5 years that was in, it grew and they had yearly meetings, and through congresses they could unite the movements of all the orang Melayu. So unlike in your Form 3 chapter 7 or 8, I can't remember, 7 bah, with your tokoh-tokoh like all around your Malaysia trying to fight for their rights, but none of them succeeded. The PASPAM helped to ensure that everyone was united, so a united upfront, not like a single individual. So we continue then. Then di Sarawak, there was also the PASPAM. Muhammad Rakawi Yusof, pengasas PASPAM Cawangan Kuching, the leader, the asas is the pioneer for the PASPAM in Kuching, that means a state in Sarawak, mempunyai hubungan baik dengan ahli KMS. Let me use the green one. Wow, hubungan baik. Okay, beliau bersama dengan Johari Anang mengasaskan Persatuan Melayu Sarawak, which means your PMS. Don't confuse it with your Selangor. I have to write it down in Selangor. This PMS is your Sarawak. Let me put it down. Okay. PMS for Sarawak. Okay. Then we go on to Sabah. Okay, di Sabah ramai tokoh Bumi Putra Sabah, that means your local people of Sabah, aktif dalam organisasi berbentuk penulisan sehingga membagikan kesedaran tentang pentadbiran di Sabah. Okay, they were very active in doing what? In writing up, pembentukan penulisan, sehingga they help to raise the awareness, to raise the issue about the pentadbiran the government system in Sabah. Kesedaran Persatuan wujud akhir tahun the 1930s, and penubuhan cawangan PASPAM di Jas Sultan, which we now call Kota Kinabalu, Tawau dan Labuan, meningkatkan kesedaran sosial ahlinya. Kebanyakan ahli PASPAM were teachers, apparently this is my new symbol for teachers, guru, sekolah Melayu, pegawai rendah kerajaan, that means people who are part of the government but have a very low what do you call this, very low jawatan kuasa status job, yes. Dan peniaga, contohnya Muhammad Yaakob, Muhammad Syamsuddin Osman dan Zakaria Gun. That's all. Not as important, I think. For PASPAM is okay, usually a pass through. Might see an objective. Then let's go to the next one. Your KMM. Kesatuan Melayu Muda. Okay, didubuhkan oleh, this is the man, Ibrahim Haji Yaakob. Okay, pada tahun 1938, dan KMM, Kesatuan Melayu Muda, berjuang melalui akhbar Majlis. Hey, do you remember the Majlis we talked about here? This one. Guess what? It is related, so I'm going to draw a very nice arrow over here. Woo! Damn, this is a messy map. Okay. Kemajuan Kat Melayu. Give it a pretty arrow. So yeah, Haji Yaakob, he did all of this using your Majlis, your akhbar that was called Majlis. Dan KMM, Kesatuan Melayu Muda, menentang British dengan mewujudkan satu gagasan Melayu Raya with the idea, let me put this somewhere, with the idea of Melayu Raya. What is that, man? Melayu Raya is where they thought merupakan gabungan Tanah Melayu dan Indonesia. Yes, combining not just Tanah Melayu, which was not united to like this area. We were still having like the NNS lah, NNMB, NNMTB, Singapura. Okay, no, we're like everyone together. KMM menyeru orang Melayu untuk bangun sebagai satu bangsa yang mempunyai tamadun dan kesopanan di tanah airnya, to rise up as your own, what do you call this? Your own, rise up as a kind of bangsa, 民族, that have your own tamadun, your own 时代, and your own values in your homeland. Then KMM dianggap radical. They were like, whoa. Dianggap radical oleh siapa? Your British. British were like, what the freak, man? Really? You guys are insane. Kerana berani, they were very brave menyuarakan penentangan terhadap kolonial dan membangkitkan perasaan anti-British melalui penulisan akhbar dan majalah. So I'm gonna draw a big fat arrow here again. What? Hey, my arrow. That is literally it for your Melayu part. So I'm gonna put this here. Ta-da! Okay, no, I think we're done with the very ugly arrows. That is for your Melayu, KMS, Paspam, dan KMM. If you ask me which one's more important, I do think that your KMS and your KMM are quite important. Okay, now let's go on to your China and India. This one not that kurang important lah. Okay, if you're gonna ask, you're gonna ask about Melayu, but of course we need a safety net to know about the rest. So let's start. Persatuan Melayu Masyarakat Cina. Where got Melayu? Persatuan Masyarakat Cina. Okay, sebelum Perang Dunia Kedua. So before the Japanese started going insane. Okay, before World War II, masyarakat Cina masih menumpukan kepada keadaan yang berlaku di China. We saw this showcase over here with their akhbar. They were like, who's the leader in China? Whoa, what is the politics in China? They weren't thinking about what's happening in Tanah Melayu. Dr. Sun Yat-sen berusaha menjalinkan hubungan dengan pemimpin Cina di negara kita dengan melawat negeri-negeri Melayu bersekutu sebanyak 4 kali. Came 4 times. The legend. Untuk mendapatkan sokongan menentang kerajaan Manchuria di China. So this was like your nasionalisme chapter 2.3. So masyarakat Cina memberikan perhatian kepada kebajikan dan perkembangan politik tempatan. That means only then did they start to put an emphasis on your, let me draw my politics symbol, your politics tempatan. Dan negeri, contohnya masyarakat Cina yang dilahirkan di negeri-negeri selat, which means your Melaka, Singapore and Penang, merupakan Cina peranakan. That means local born. Peranakan means local born. So Chinese local born. Dan terdapat juga berpendidikan British keras seperti Tan Jiak Kim. Mereka menubuhkan, now this is your keyword. Let me put this somewhere. Here, okay. Mereka menubuhkan your Persatuan Orang Cina Peranakan British, SCBA. Okay, there you go. Di negeri-negeri selat yang menggalakkan pelajaran tinggi. Same thing with what Muhammad Yunus Abdullah wanted, right, over here. You go to the part where he said that. There you go. Pengajian tinggi. This one is pelajaran tinggi. Where's my Cina? There you go. Pelajaran tinggi. Then in 1915, Tan Cheng Lock. Hey, I think you guys know this, right? There's a school called Tan Cheng Lock. So your legend pops up. Tan Cheng Lock. I also didn't write the other token. Tan Jiak Kim. Okay, berusaha menghidupkan cawangan the brand of FCBA in Melaka, di Melaka dan menuntut peluang berkhidmat dalam perkhidmatan kerajaan. To get job opportunity, service opportunity from the kerajaan. That's it. Okay, boom. That's for China. Let's go to India, shall we? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, for India, beberapa. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. For India, we have to divide this. Hold up. You have, okay, masyarakat India, just India. Then they are also divided, right? Same for India. Then they are also divided to India Muslim. I won't write. I'm just gonna write this Muslim. Then Persatuan Masyarakat Sikh. Not very much under India, but the textbook, I believe, does not really separate them. Do they? I mean, they do have a separate box for them. Let me give them their own arrow. Give me a second. What the Maya? Okay, read that. Let's go. For the Sikh, the idea of Sikh is not under this one. Okay, so first let's talk about for India. Before we talk about the India Muslim. So di sini beberapa pertubuhan awal ditubuhkan bagi menjaga kepentingan masyarakat India di Tanah Melayu. Okay, for example, the groups that were formed: Persatuan India Taiping, PIT. I'm gonna write it here. Then you have your Persatuan India Pulau Pinang. Then, in 1927, Persidangan India se-Malaya diadakan di Kuala Lumpur dan diikuti oleh negara lain. That means they had this hui, this meeting called India se-Malaya. That was then contohi, that means a lot of states did the same thing. Bertujuan membincangkan isu berkaitan dengan masyarakat India. So we have a place to discuss about the issues happening. J.V. Tavor menubuhkan Malayan Indian Association, your MIA. Hello, I've got no space. What the freak, man? Ow. Hold on. Let me form a little border here. Okay, there you go. They formed your MIA, right? This Tavor guy formed your GV Tavor MIA untuk golongan India yang dilahirkan di tanah Melayu. Just like in China, we had the Peranakan China, now we're having the MIA. Then for October 1936, Central India Association of Malaya, your SIAM. Wow, jadi SIAM bro. Sorry, SIAM ditubuhkan bawah pimpinan Dr. A.M. Suse. SIAM menggabungkan 12 persatuan India dan 4 dewan perniagaan. So the SIAM was kind of like, because the word here C is central, you're trying to take all the little groups and turn them into one big group called SIAM. And I just made a face, it's kind of funny. Okay. To make them one big central group dan berjaya mengembangkan idea nasionalisme masyarakat India di tanah Melayu dan menjaga kebajikan mereka, to take care of their welfare. Pergerakan SIAM disemarakkan, it was like burning, wow, dengan lawatan Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ke tanah Melayu. This man, I have to draw him out somehow. Tada, this man, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, may really change the game for your nationalism in India. Now let's go on to your Indian Muslim. Indian Muslim kind of okay. This is actually what we call Mama nowadays. Mama is Indians who are Muslims. So ramai terlibat dalam kalangan kegiatan perniagaan, trading dan pentadbiran government system. Contohnya Sir Husin Hasanal Abdul Qadir merupakan ahli dalam Majlis Perundangan Negeri-Negeri Selat ataupun the Strait Settlement Legislative Council, SSLC. That's it. Alright, coming to the Sheikh. Your Sheikh has a little bit more. Masyarakat Sheikh terlibat dalam sebagai pasukan keselamatan. You have seen this, if you have read your novel Lieutenant Adnan, you will know that you have soldiers who are Sheikh. So mereka menjadikan barrack polis and quarters kerajaan, so like bodyguards, quarters kerajaan dan guadwara sebagai tempat aktiviti sosial dan keagamaan. Guadwara menjadi antara tempat penting bagi masyarakat Sikh mengembangkan kesedaran politik anti-British. You write British real quick. British. So like, ew, I don't like the British. Then for 1902, Khalsa Diwan Malaya, which is a persatuan. Let me write this. Khalsa Diwan Malaya merupakan persatuan yang berpengaruh dan tujuannya untuk to take care of the importance, the rights of masyarakat Sikh, menjaga kepentingan masyarakat Sikh. Let me give them the arrows, then we can look at this in an overall. This is for your perjuangan melalui persatuan. The Melayu, you have your KMS, PASPAM, and KMN. Then for China, you have, they were all talking about at first they were very berpandukan to China. Then with the Sun Yat-sen visit lah, masyarakat China memberikan perhatian to the China Peranakan, the local people. Then for Indians, they had quite a riot. They already were focusing on the local forms. Then your British gave them, they created their own MIA. Then the British gave them SIAM. Then we come over here for your India. We have India Muslim. They're just a mamak. They were part of your kerajaan. That's about it. Ahli Majlis Perundangan Negeri-Negeri Selat. Then here, bodyguards, your pasukan keselamatan. What did I do? Pasukan keselamatan, and you had their Khalsa Diwan Malaya. So this is a very big zoom out for your perkembangan nasionalisme in 2.7. I will see you for 2.8 and then chapter 3. Bye bye. I'm thirsty. Draw a sad face.